Hi, welcome to Digital Literacies, an interactive online course for the professional development of technology professionals in education. I'm Emil Ohangarzadeh, Coordinator of Integrated Technology Services, and I'll be your course facilitator. The course is designed to provide you with a rich opportunity to deepen your understanding of what it means to be digitally literate and how you can support students in developing their digital literacies. Now, throughout the course, you'll be interacting with your fellow classmates through asynchronous discussions, completing assignments, doing things like watching yours truly in a series of video lectures, and so on. So to kick things off, I thought it would be a good idea to go over what digital literacy means in context of this course. It's a term that's used in many ways. Some think of digital literacy as knowing how to use a computer mouse or understanding how to install software onto your device. Our working definition is much more complicated than that. Other terms used to refer to concepts relevant to digital literacy are web literacy and transmedia. Transliteracy is another term, e-literacy, and so on. And each of those has its own spin on the larger concept of digital literacy. But for our purpose, this is what we mean when we say digital literacy. Digital literacy is the ability to use digital technology and communication tools or networks to access, manage, integrate, evaluate, create, and communicate information in order to function in a knowledge society. As you'll note, there are plenty of verbs in that definition, and that's a key component of how we'll be approaching digital literacy. Digital literacy isn't just about knowing things, it's about doing things. The problem is that we use verbs like access and integrate and evaluate and create in varying ways throughout our lives. So let's take a look at these definitions a little bit more closely. The first element is access. This means that students should know about and how to collect or retrieve information using digital tools and networks. For most folks, this just means that students should know about Google. The problem is that there's a vast amount of information out across the net, and simply typing in a search query or an argument into a search engine will get generally millions of responses. Knowing how to compose accurate search arguments and understanding how search engines work will vastly alter your ability to access the information that you're looking for. Next, we come to manage. Manage, in context of information and communication technology skills, is about applying an existing organization or classification scheme to a set of content. For example, we want students to be able to conduct a rudimentary and preliminary organization of accessed information for retrieval and future application. Integrate is about interpreting and representing information by summarizing, comparing and contrasting it to other sets of information. For example, students should be able to interpret information by using web-based and software-based tools to synthesize information into a cohesive position or a report. Making judgments about quality, relevance, usefulness, and efficiency of information is what the next element, which is evaluate, is all about. Students should be able to judge the currency, appropriateness, and adequacy of information in multiple sources for a specific purpose, including determining authority or bias and timelines of materials. The last two elements are directly related to the framework for 21st century skills, create and communicate. To create in this context means to generate information by adapting, applying, designing, inventing, and then authoring content in information communication technology environments. For example, students should be able to use digital devices to describe an event or express an opinion or support basic arguments or viewpoints or positions. Communicate is more about transmitting information persuasively to meet the needs of various audiences through the use of an appropriate medium. Now, this is closely related to all the rhetorical skills that the Common Core standards demand of our students. Of course, as we dive deeper into the course, we'll take a closer look at these elements and particularly how their related competencies can be realized through information media technologies. Your first assignment is to scour the web and other resources to find an alternative definition of digital literacy. Now, before I close this introduction, I have a disclaimer for your attention. Throughout the course, you'll be introduced and in some cases reintroduced to a series of tools and services that have educational value, which, when used appropriately, can yield engaging learning and teaching experiences. However, please note that it's your responsibility to vet the use of these tools and services through your district's policies. That is, please review your district's policies and regulations to ensure that the tools and services you're exposed to meet your professional obligations to your local educational agency.